Hi guys, and welcome back to World of Tanks, and it's another random destruction. We're up to episode 50 now. I think I might have to do something special for the 100th episode of this series, but for now I'm in the Tier 6 American tank destroyer, the Jackson. This is one of the Tier 6 ones. The other one, of course, is the Hellcat. I've got it fully upgraded. We're on steps. It's an encounter battle, and it's a Tier 8 match, so I am bottom tier in this one. I've got it fully upgraded, like I say. It's got a 90mm gun, 7.5 rounds a minute, 160 pen, 240 damage. Good aiming time though at 1.7 seconds. Turret armour is 76 on the front, 25 on the sides and the rear. Now 76 doesn't sound a lot, but when you're using it, it's very good gun depression. It angles that turret front and uses the gun mantle, and it can be a little bit trolly. It's a bit like the Hellcat gun mantle. It can be quite a trolly sort of thing and bounce quite a few shots. Now, unlike the Hellcat, it's actually got a bit of hull armour. It's 114 on the front, which is quite nice. It's got quite a good slope to it, and again, when you're using that gun depression, it increases that angle and gives a very, very good slope to that front, and you know, again, you can bounce quite a few shots. It's got a bit different on the sides though. You're looking at 25 on the sides and the rear. It does have a bit of slope into it, but it's not really going to save you, I'm afraid. Now, it's never particularly nice when you're bottom tier, so I'm staying back a bit, using other guys to spot, and I'm putting shots in where I can, although I think I've overstayed my welcome, so I'm going to pull back and see if I can't be a bit more use somewhere else, or try and get to a better position to shoot from. Don't think it's going to work from there. Yeah, that was lucky. I've been seen. Taking a bit of a risk actually there. Now, coming onto the store today is the A32, I think it is, and the Gross Tractor. The Gross Tractor I've got. If you want to see a review of that, I don't mind doing one probably. Well, the Excelsior review, I've got it back finally, will be... I might even shove it in on Sunday instead of doing a random destruction. So I could do Gross Tractor Monday, it's not bad. The A32, well, that's not one that I'm going to be picking up. If you want to know what it is, or sort of how it feels, basically drive a fully upgraded A20 with the 76mm gun, the top 76mm gun, and that's basically what you've got. The A32 does have a bit more armour though, and possibly slightly less power to weight ratio, but that's basically what it is. It's a slightly up armoured version of the A20 using the 76mm gun, the one that I think is a bit like a howitzer, although I could be wrong on that one. Now I've taken a bit of a beating, so I'm going to have to be very careful, but I have been lucky enough to get quite a lot of assisted damage in this match, and yeah, my game has not been brilliant so far. You know, 3 penetrating hits, not great. I'm going after this Boilermaker, and if I can get the first shot off, which I did, although a Churchill 7 hit me. Did that damage me? I've ducked down into here anyway to try and use this embankment, but I've got to be careful because I nearly got taken out then by the 3001D. But I managed to get a hit into him, in fact 2 hits into him, and it looked like mine hit him just after that other one, so I got the kill on that. Now I don't think I've been spotted, and it's also worth saying that I've got no equipment on this at the minute, and this crew, well, they've nearly got 100% on repairs, that's it, and it's just a crew I had lying around. I've stuck it in it. I'm training them up, but every now and again I do run the Jackson as well, but normally I'm running this crew in the odd premium here and there and just trying to build them up slowly. I'm not in a rush to carry on down this line at the minute, and I do apologise, I forgot to put my phone on silent. Now, that was the Churchill 7 that got a shot at me earlier. I do feel a bit exposed out there though, so I am going to move, try and get in a better position to shoot from. There's no point sitting in the middle of an open field. That'll just send me back to the garage very quickly. Now, let's see if I can poke up over here and get a shot at anything. What's down that way? There's a Pershing. And again, I just start to feel a bit exposed there. It was a bit of a daft place to stop, I think, really. Let's see if I can get a bit closer and do a bit of damage to these guys, and hopefully I can. Yep, managed to finish off the Pershing. Just a bit of patience, and that's basically how you've got to play it when you're not top tier. Stay back a bit. I've not been camping particularly. You know, I've sort of stayed back, being cautious, and being a bit opportunistic almost in some respects. But you've just, like I say, play it cautiously, play the support role if you're not entirely sure. But yeah, you don't have to camp. Just play it, yeah. Just play it safe. Not a bad match out of that. 4,678 for my daily double, which is quite nice. 1,683 damage of myself, which isn't brilliant. It's not bad, but it's not brilliant. But 2,237 assisted, which is fantastic. And that got me a first class mastery, and it also put me at the top of the table, which was quite nice, especially when you're bottom tier. So I quite like the Jackson. A lot of people, when the Hellcat sort of got released onto the PlayStation, I don't know if it was already on the Xbox, but everybody just went for the Hellcat, and it's, you know, it's a good fun tank, but the Jackson gets missed out quite often, and that's quite a good tank as well, but for different reasons. Right, now for the next replay, I'm in the captured KV-1. I've been training up a crew in it. My Aufklärung's Panther crew, been training them up down in this, because it's not bad, it's quite a fun little tank. It's mounting past summer, standard battle, and it's a tier 7 match, so I'm bottom tier again. Now this one, like I said, well, if you've seen my review of it, it's more or less a fully upgraded KV-1. But it does have 100 more horsepower, and instead of the 85mm I think that gets, it's got a 57mm, but it does have its merits, the 57mm. It's got a fantastic rate of fire, more than double of the 85mm, and in fact ends up actually I think having more DPM than the 85mm because of it. But it's a 112mm pen, 85 average damage, but 26 rounds a minute, or just over, should I say. Turret armour 110 all round, and hull armour is 75 front and sides and 70 on the rear. But that extra 100 horsepower, it does help, and it is kind of noticeable. Now, I was a bit uncertain which way to go. I did think that was it a T1 that just went past, was going to camp up where artillery normally sits, and it was looking a bit sparse, sort of over towards the western valley, would you say, around there, around, you know, sort of F2 that way. But he came down and he was gone off that way, so I figured I'm going to go to the bridge and try and sort of side scrape off here and see what I can do this way. Now, is that a Chiri behind me? I don't think he's fully upgraded, so I don't think he's got the auto loader. And there's a normal KV-1 down there and an Easy 8. Now, I've got to be careful side scraping off here, and I get my turret penned. In fact, I think that was my turret, I'm sure it was. No, it's 110. If he's got the 85mm, I think he's got about 120mm pen. And the Easy H got annihilated, but he would have had, well, full upgraded. I think, is it 125 pen, something like that? Or is it slightly more? 145? Oh, I can't remember now, off the top of my head. Now the KV-1's back, and this is where I can put my rate of fire to play, although artillery gave me a really nasty slap. And that's left me on 53 health, which is not a particularly good thing, you know, when you're less than 3 minutes in. So I've got to be very careful now. And I don't know if I got my side scraping quite right there, but hey ho. What can you do now? Like I say, 53 health. No guts, no glory and all that. I'm going to go for it and try and get across the bridge without getting shot in the flank, and hopefully without the KV-1 putting one through my front. But he didn't go for me. I don't think he noticed me. So now I've got to get across the bridge before he reloads, and with his length of reload I would say that he probably has more than likely got that sort of 85mm or whatever it is. Unless he's not fully upgraded and he's... No, I don't think he's using the howitzer. The shells are flying too straight for that. Yeah, I was just trying to set myself up, side scraping off that rock, waiting for him, and that's when he decides to make his presence known, and all of a sudden Artie just rains down and ruins his day. Thank you very much, Artie. Now, what else is around here? Oh, the enemy Artie. I did not expect that, but that was quite nice that he missed. And again, put that rate of fire to work. It would have been nice to have a bit more damage. I'm going to go at this T1 Heavy now. You do have to aim properly at the front of T1 Heavies with this gun. Otherwise, you know, you are just going to bounce, as you can see me doing there. And I'm trying to aim for that sort of double machine gun on the front there. Now, finished off the GW Panther, and now I can put my attention back to the T1 Heavy, and if I angle properly, then I should be able to bounce his shots, but I'm still going to go and try for a bit of a side scrape off this bit here, and just start putting him through his side. Keep moving, so hopefully he's not going to be able to hit the turret. And should come out of this not bad, hopefully. And there we go. Managed to take care of the T1 Heavy, which isn't too bad. I've been on 53 health and managed to take out the enemy artillery and an enemy heavy tank, albeit the same tier as me, the enemy heavy. But it's still nice. We've got a T37. Oh, that was lucky. That one was even luckier. Is he firing high explosive? It looked like he might have been there, possibly out of the autoloader maybe, I don't... Does the T37 get an autoloader? I can't remember. But yeah, that was a bit odd. Now, I was going to go back and try and sort of do something about that influx of enemy tanks going towards the cap, but on 17 health, I don't want to push my luck. And somebody points out, no, you know, go for their cap, let's get in, you know, and I think the idea is let's get in there, start capping. Hopefully we can start capping first, and they may even split off and come back and try and take care of us. So I'm going to go for cap. The Chi-Ri heads off to basically, I think, to head towards resetting cap, or at least trying to get shots across there. Now we've started capping first. If I can get in and get two of us in there. Oh, it's going to be close. In fact, it's going to be very... Oh, no. They've got three in. That's it. Which is frustrating, because the Chi-Ri, you know, he kind of did have the right idea to try and go back and defend our cap. But if it had come to this cap with us, we may have won this. Now it's looking as though it's going to be a draw. And I'm not blaming the guy, you know, we all make mistakes and these things happen. I've done it myself, you know, where I should have gone for cap and I decided to go and try and reset base, and it just went wrong and ended up in a draw or a loss. So yeah, we've all done it, but it was quite unfortunate that that's how this one ended up. And yeah, I don't think that guy was particularly pleased. So, yep, ended up in draw, but 79,000 silver, tier 5 is quite happy, I'll have that. And 1700 XP on a loss isn't too shabby either, 1373 damage, a little 160 blocked, and Amiga 300 assisted, but it was enough to put me at the top of the table, which again, when you're not top tier, is very nice. So, you know, as a tier 5 in a tier 7 match, and... there's a lot of people that think that 57mm sort of doesn't stand up, and I mean, admittedly, I think the only tier 7 I came up against was the GW Panther, but you know, I find that gun works personally. Right, here we are for the last of the replays tonight, and this time I'm top tier. It's a tier 7 match. I'm in the tier 7 American premium tank destroyer, the T28 Concept. There's a lot of people again not really keen on this machine. I don't mind it actually. It's not bad if you've got to know how to manage your weak spots, because if you don't, you are going to get hammered. But if you can manage them properly, then yeah, it's all good. And your main weak spots on this are those machine gun turrets on the side, or the side boobs, as a lot of people call them. And The thing is about this that, as you can see by the diagram, you have a very wide gun arc at the front, unlike a lot of other tank destroyers. So you can get up to a corner or a rock, and you can angle it so that basically the body of the tank, the hull of the tank, hides one of the turrets, and the rock or the corner of the building hides the other turret. And yeah, you can bounce shots all day long, and you can still get your gun around the corner. And because of the way you're angled, your lower plate, which is very strong anyway, that can bounce shells, well, yeah, all day. You've got to be a bit more cautious when you're not top tier, but then again, what tank doesn't really? But it's got a 105mm gun, 6 rounds a minute, 181 penetration and 320 damage. It's similar-ish to the T29's 105mm, a bit less pen. Yeah, 2.1 second aiming time, 0.4 accuracy, which isn't brilliant, but as you can see, it sort of nips along, and I think it was based on parts of the M6, the heavy. But it's, yeah, it's, you know, got a decent speed to it. You'd expect it to be quite slow with it having the, you know, the T28 in there. But your armour is 203 on the front, 102 on the sides, but a paltry 51 on the rear. But I do like it. And you'll see what I mean here about angling around a rock. So I've got the left hand turret covered by the rock, I've got the right hand turret covered by the hull of the tank, I've got my lower plate and the front of my tank angled, and I'm just bouncing shells. And I'm going to go to work on the Tiger. He's probably the easiest one to get through at the front. Tiger P's got 200mm of armour at the front. And if I can take out the Tiger, that's one less gun shooting back, and I can start trying to go for the weak spots on the Tiger P. Excuse me. Oh, now there's a tank destroyer coming out on my left. I have seen him, and I'm hoping the guys behind me can hold him off. But he is starting to get a bit close now. So I'm just going to mark him, just to say, look, you know, come on guys, please. And just as he's about to get me, they start putting shots into him and he has to pull back. So I can now go back to concentrating on these guys. Now Tiger P from the front, if you can't get to the lower plate, Commander's cupola. If he's angled, I think there are some sort of cheek plates that on the top sort of shoulders of the hull, if you will, and they do flatten out when they're angling, so that's quite a good place to go for. But I'm going to punish the Jagdpanther for his cheekiness of trying to sneak up on me. Give him a bit of a slap as he's backing up. Now that was quite an angle on the Tiger P, and I'm surprised that went through, but again, that's that lower plate. It's quite soft if you can get to it. Oh, he's pulled back, so the IS will do. Now it's T25/2 down at the far end of the beach. And I managed to track him, but that's all I do to him. And he's going to pull back. Now the Jagdpanther's gone, so I could probably advance on the IS and the Tiger P quite safely. And see if I can sneak up on him. Again, you'll see how good the gun arc is on this. That, you know, I wasn't even facing the guy. Apart from turreted tank destroyers, I can't think of anything. Oh, the Scorpion, that has a very good gun arc as well, but the gun doesn't move as fast as this, and obviously it doesn't have as much armour as this. And now, all that's left is the T25/2, and I've got his flank, but I don't know if I can get enough to finish him off. If somebody clips him, I probably will. Yeah, there we go. Just shave off the last little bit of health for a 4th kill. And there you go. A nice little victory to end on. 102,000 silver, 5,496 daily double for the XP, a high caliber, 3,431 damage done, 2,515 blocked, and a first class mastery. People seem to be doing well in the T28 Concept. And it came top of the table, which is nice, always. And if you look, I actually received 0 damage, 15 hits, 15 non-penetrations, damage blocked 2,500, damage received 0. So there you go. I hope you've enjoyed tonight's episode, and I hope it's been entertaining. And it's Saturday tomorrow, so no video, but we're back Sunday. So as always, take care out there, and I'll catch you next time. See you later.